Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Oxygen Not Included. It just occurred to me if I'm gonna call these things game spotlights, I guess, then I need to include a little bit of information about the game. All right. Obviously, the title is called Oxygen Not Included. It is currently in alpha and is being updated on a regular basis, so there is a fairly decent development cycle going. All right. This is currently being run by Klei Entertainment. It's got quite a decent following on Steam with some generally positive reviews. So I picked it up a couple of days ago, I played it on stream for a little bit, learned some of the basic mechanics, and yeah, I've discovered that I've actually rather enjoyed this thing. Which I guess you could say is good. Always on the lookout for, new and exciting and interesting games. But let's, explore a little bit more of it. Obviously, so down here you've got all the stuff that you can build and all the actions that you can take. And they're all hotkeyed, so all these ones down here are all done for the numpad up until the minus key there. So you got your generic base stuff, generic base building. Airlocks, doors, permeable tiles. The tiles usually to place stuff on. Ladders for going up and down, and storage compactors for, well, storing. And I've got quite a few of those because they are very handy to have. Oxygen, this is what the game is all about. So you start off with the algae deoxidizer. This stuff here is algae. You need to dig this up. I'll show you how I did that in a second. So you need to dig that up and put it in there. Another one that the algae is used for is this terrarium, which takes carbon dioxide out of the air and generates a small amount of oxygen. Later on, once you've researched your tech, and we'll go into that soon, you get some better stuff happening like air scrubbers, deodorizers, and electrolyzers. Power. Now, this is actually really, really important. All your machines run off power, obviously. At the start of the game, you get basic power generation, which is usually running in a treadmill like a hamster. Some tiny batteries and some electrical cables, which you run everywhere. Food, fairly basic. You start off with some food in your little ration box right here, but you then have to start creating your own stuff. So it's like plants, which we've got started here, and obviously the plants spawn naturally as well throughout this world. And you can also make a microbe musher, which makes two things. In fact, I've got one built right here. Currently got it set up to make mush bars, but later we can make lice loafs. Haven't really got to the point where we can actually mess around with the utility stuff yet. Plumbing also really, really important. They do poop, so you basically start with the outhouse and you graduate. So lavatory is the next one up from that. Shower, all very important for hygiene. Liquid pipes and stuff all run throughout your base, as does all the gas stuff. This is like you transport oxygen and nitrogen, all that to all the different areas of your base. So like you have a room that generates oxygen, so you'll put a gas pump in there and then pump everything via these gas pipes to wherever you need to go. Bridges are very, very important if you don't want things to get crossed to deal with your liquids. So say you got like a lot of this contaminated water running around, you need to pipe it out to wherever it is you're processing the stuff and generating clean water out of it, sending it through stuff, so out through a vent or maybe just straight into a liquid pump if that's what you want to do. So clean water obviously very important for things like showers, your lavatory and all that. Water, again, another naturally generated resource, but there is a finite amount of it, so you will want to set up some processing for that actually fairly quickly. Again, all of this is researchable. Refinement, again, stuff, so your compost refines contaminated dirt, which you get from like a lavatory. Your biodistillery converts slime, again, another naturally generated resource, into algae, which very useful. Your water purifier and your fertilizer maker, all very important things. Fertilizer for the planter boxes, and your contaminated water obviously gets purified into your standard water, which they use to fuel their machines, clean things, including themselves. Medicine also really important, particularly when they get sick or injured, because there's a little bit of combat in here. There are some creepy crawlies running around. I've only sort of run into them every so often. The most common ones I have seemed to found so far are called morbs. Here they are. Here's one. Ugly little fella, isn't he? He's just an eye on some legs. And they're a mob. An agile disease-ridden invertebrate. Attracted to corpses. So yeah, medicine, always good for healing up your things. Stations, these are the only two stations that exist so far within the game. Maybe there's more, maybe there won't be, I don't know. But yes, you want to stay ahead of the development. Obviously, find out if there's anything else coming. But these are the research stations. This is for your basic stuff. This is for your intermediate research. Obviously, there should be like another level at some point. But again, the game is in alpha, so there's still a lot of content coming. And obviously, so here is some furniture. Cots, always good for sleeping in. You read, pause the game, read the tooltips. Massage, also good for reducing stress rapidly, which I will need to do at some point. We'll get to that in a second. Mess tables for food. This is all just, so your furniture and your decor stuff is all usually around lowering your stress levels. Alright, let's get into your stuff. So that's all the stuff happens here. Over in the bottom right, you got all your actions. You dig, which is what I'm using here. Hotkey is G, currently, is I think the default button. That's what this little spade symbol means. Right click to clear. Harvesting only comes for plants, so clicking here and just comes up with a very large orange box that you can use. Right click to clear again. The hotkey for harvest is T. Prioritize is, as far as I can tell for now, broken. Just a little bit broken. So I can go in here and manually set the priorities as well. But if I use this button, see it shows up as a 9, and then I use that to click, and it immediately drops down to a 5. And I can't see if that actually does anything else other than that. Like, it doesn't seem to do anything. Sweeping, very, very handy, used for picking up all the little bits and bobs lying on the floor everywhere. Just sort of sweep that generally over everything. Mopping, good for getting rid of all of that contaminated water. So you will mop that up with sponges and the like. And so you'll be doing that quite frequently. I look down here, there's so much filthy water. There we go. And so that'll get rid of it all at some point. Deconstruction, good for that. So it actually just deconstructs your different bits and pieces. And then finally, the cancel button. Demolish is X, and the cancel is C, obviously, so that's pretty good. Mop is M, sweep is X, because you just use your WASD or your arrow keys to run around the map. So yeah, you have to rebind. All keys are rebindable, so that's pretty good. In the top left-hand corner, you got your cycles. So this is like your day ticks kind of deal. Speed controls, you've got how many people you've got, your stress. So obviously I need to start building some of those massage tables, and how many calories your food to basically use your supplies. It also has little pop-ups here, so you can tell that colonies trouble by excess stress. Decorate your base, build better amenities to help those duplicates unwind. So you got insufficient resources for things like the algae deoxidizers. So these things here need more algae. Your research center is idle for now because it's not doing anything. It's not doing any research. We do have research queued up, but I don't think it needs it yet. Ooh, pardon me. And it tells you when there are other pop-ups coming in as well. Whoa, let's just clear all that for now. We'll get to that in a second. Everything does come with blueprints as well. You see those blueprints sort of set up as the jobs get queued. All pretty good things. Alright, top right, you have a basic list of all of your resources you currently got. Different overlays are using all the F of your function keys. So here's your priority stuff, all set to 5. Your decor, this tells us all the crappy decor is all the bits where these things all generate stress, these things lower stress. Yeah, gas plumbing, nothing happening here yet with my gas plumbing. I've just started this map. Liquid plumbing, got a bit of it going on. There'll soon be pipes and stuff running everywhere as well. With your plumbing and stuff, it's the output to input, so white to green, always. Your lights, this is where all the light is, everything else is actually fairly dark. These little guys here, the algae terrariums, actually run better if they have light on them. And it's a decent increase. Temperature, pretty good. You can see the machines generate a little bit of heat, but other than that, the temperature is at it's at a decent, it's a nice temperate climate. It's pretty good. And either end of that obviously makes your duplicants a little uncomfortable. We've got power running through everything as well. We've got wires built, still some more to be done here. Running from our power generation to our batteries to everywhere else. It doesn't matter where the batteries are placed in your power network, it will just grab excess power whenever there is any. And they do lose power over time. And then finally your oxygen overlay. We're actually generating a fair amount of oxygen. You do get pop-ups when you're not generating enough. But yeah, so you can see the barely breathable areas like sort of carbon dioxide. This orange stuff here is contaminated oxygen. It's very toxic. And the blue and light blue are obviously the places where there is a high oxygen count. And your duplicants will tend to hang out in these areas whenever they need. So if there's a high amount of like contaminated oxygen or carbon dioxide, they'll go hang on the areas where there is oxygen and stuff, and they'll sit there and they'll pant a bit to get their breath back. Finally, above your overlays and your resource count, you've got 4 different buttons. Research pulls up your tech tree. This is what it looks like so far. It's pretty limited, but it has most of the stuff that you need so far for this alpha. You generate a report at the end of every cycle, which shows you how much you've generated, how much you've used, and then your net gain or loss at the end of that. So it's pretty informative and very well laid out. And the tooltips are actually also full of information. Here is your general overlay for all your duplicants, names your stress level, how full they are from the food, how many calories a day they'll eat, and how much they've eaten so far. So all of them are currently set to 4. I haven't actually messed with this yet, so I guess, yeah, you can set how much they'll eat, so you can make them eat more or less depending on how much work they're doing. So obviously someone like Gossman here will probably eat more calories because he's doing a lot of exercise. And then you can manually set their jobs similar to a game like RimWorld, where you can manually set priorities for your colonists. Again, a similar thing here. Alright, so there you go, that's a bit of a basic rundown of what the oxygen not included alpha looks like and feels like so far. The music, oh, and yes, speed controls here as well. Oh, and one more thing, the most important thing, this is where your duplicants spawn. It's the printing pod. So when it has more duplicants to print, it'll start pulsing like this. It'll come up with a little icon here, and again up here in the alerts, printing pod is ready to print a new colony member. Please select a DNA to blueprint. Other things happen, so running out of resources, got no research, and things to pick up, as well as things like the disconnected symbol for no liquids and no power, that kind of thing. So that all happens. And that noise you just heard is someone, I do believe, has, yep, leveled up due to their hard work. See, there's the pop-up for insufficient oxygen generation. We've produced 30, and we are using 77. Now 88. Yeah. So medium priority means we'll get around to it eventually, and it's not really that important for them to do. It is a little annoying, but that's why we've got the game running on fast. There we go. Look at her go, Olive, getting the stuff done. Let's set ourselves up our first massage table. We're going to priority that on 9, so let's start constructing that almost immediately. And we're going to put Olive on that pretty much straight away, I reckon. And then leave her there until at least stress is like maybe 30 or 40, at least at a more manageable level. Alright, so pause the game. And Olive, on you go. So she'll head over there immediately. Thankfully, none of them actually have any of the destructive trait when they're overly stressed. They'll just puke everywhere. A little unfortunate, it will get quite messy. It means they will have to clean. Look at that, it is coming down considerably. Not as fast as I would like, but fast enough, I guess. They'll automatically go to the loo. Other things that drop stress, obviously, is things like your showers. Yep, see, vomiting. There she goes. So we will get someone to come and mop all that up. There it is. M to mop. And that's actually running into our water supply as well. Kind of nasty. But yeah, we will be able to get that purified at some point. And hey, more water. which was actually a little unfortunate. We didn't want that to happen. Let's see if we can't get that built. Maybe some of that water possibly pumped out of there. When water reaches a certain level, machines start failing to work. But yeah, they will start sucking up all that water. Alright, let's take a look at the duplicate screen. Let's see if we want to print anymore. We probably don't, because we're not generating enough oxygen. But we'll see what we've got here. So if I'm going to evolve and destructive. People who are destructive usually tend to destroy your machines and that. None of them are particularly fantastic, so we're just going to reject all of them. And he'll come back. See, it's off now, and it'll be back in half a cycle. So another skill increase. Carl, his athletics is now at 7. Ooh, pardon me. There he is, doing the work, getting stuff done. Alright, Meep is now at 63% and Oliver's at 62. I guess we will change that over. Meep, go and de-stress, mate. There you go. And so that's probably the only enemy that really requires that much micro. So stress is coming down. Olives is unfortunately going up a little bit. We do have a decent amount of power. It is going down, but it should be fine. One of the things I think I will do is actually start setting. Because is he? It's hard to tell whether or not things are actually getting done. Just mop that. And they do pull some rather funny faces. Alright, so that unreachable is actually just bugging me no end. There you go, mate. Should not be that unreachable for you now. That's more pop-ups. Stress vomiting. Right there. Yeah, they're all going. Getting some of that oxygen generated. Actually generates oxygen pretty darn quickly, I have to admit. Let's get some of this set up so we can actually access some of the algae over here. There we go. Dig down and get some more of that oxygen. These rocks here are actually fantastic because they generate oxygen, so you want to leave those alone for about as long as you possibly can. There he is, there's the other one of their bugs. It's so we got meal lice here. These things are quite big. It's a flavorless grain that almost never wrinkles on its own, and there is one other thing, and it's a hatch. It's a burrower. It only comes up at night to eat all the minerals that are on the ground that you've left behind from your digging. Alright, I'm currently stressed, so Meep doing a thing. Alright, it's time for, I do believe, Olive to get back on that. And maybe we need to build another massage table. start building some more other bits and pieces. There we go. We may have a few plants here and there. Yeah, Olive is back on that. I'll lower her stress down. I think one of the other things that makes them stress is the fact that there's not that much oxygen either. Flooding. Oh yeah, there it is. We'll get them to start sucking all that up as well. Now we've got to run up to the oxygen generation area. Yeah, they are quite... Getting to pick up all that algae so that it can be used. There it is. Yeah, quite low. It's a little unfortunate, but we'll just dig that entire area out. There we go. Alright, that's what I think we're going to call this episode. There will be another 3 after this. We'll just do it's a short series of about 5 episodes of this game. And that is all we have time for this particular episode. I'm the Gameblot. Thanks once again for tuning in. We'll see you all in the next episode.